What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Madden 21 retro rebuild of the Miami Dolphins here on Madden 21 on the PC. That is right, we are back with probably the final episode of the series. Yes, I know it sucks, but Madden and EA suck way worse than the fact that this is ending. But don't be too sad, because there will be another Madden 21 retro rebuild series up on the channel with new roster, with a fresh team, and just a fresh start. And I'll probably start that series with salary cap and see what happens and go from there. But this will probably be the final season of the Dolphins. We are going to be finishing the 2014 season in this episode, and then we will see what happens. I have a strong suspicion that once we get done with the postseason, no matter if we get eliminated in the first round or if we win the Super Bowl or whatever, whenever the final game is played, I have a feeling that it will kick us out and make us retire because we have a negative balance in our funds. Don't get me started, because I cannot go on another rant. You guys saw the video. So with all that out of the way, without further ado, let's finish off this series right. Let's get straight into it and start simulating. All right, here we are in the 2014 season. We have our roster ready to go. Calvin Johnson is a 99. Jahari Evans, Eric Weddle, Ndamukong Suh, Josh Sitton, Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, Von Miller, Devin McCourty. Everybody's looking good. Everybody's looking good. Russell Wilson didn't get to develop because we have Cam Newton. This team looks real good. It looks real good. It could win another Super Bowl. We'd be going for our third Super Bowl. The 2015 draft class is in. This is the Jameis Winston draft class. Marcus Mariota, Amari Cooper, Brandon Scherf, Leonard Williams, Todd Gurley. There's good players in this draft class. Too bad we won't be able to use any of those players because we have no money, apparently. No money, even though the salary cap is turned off and there should be no real effect of the money. But I mean, like I said in the last video, it could be my doing as well. I did pay some of these guys a crazy amount of money. Probably paying Calvin Johnson over $120 million was not the move, but it's Calvin Johnson, and he's helped us win 2 Super Bowls, and he's a 99 overall at 28 years old. He's been a 99 overall for like 3 seasons now, so I think it was worth paying him that much money. Now, Von Miller, we just signed to a contract while I was simulating up to week 3 so I could input the new draft class. So Von Miller got paid a lot, and he wouldn't accept anything else. I tried to lower it out. He would not accept anything. He wanted this much money, so he got his bag as well. Obviously, we saw Ndamukong Suh had his money, and Antonio Brown got his money. Trent Williams got his money. A lot of high paid players on this. But this is what happens when you use a draft class. You use a bunch of draft classes with real people in it, because they're going to come in with high salaries. That's just going to screw up the whole save. So it's kind of hard to start from so far back, because I started back in 2005, if you remember. We started with the 2006 draft class, so it's so hard to keep the salaries realistic when you start that far back, because those players are coming in with high contracts, and their values go up and their ratings go up, so then you got to pay them, and it's really hard to keep the salaries realistic, especially when you start that far back. So that probably contributes to it as well. Why we can't continue forward. That's why the next retro rebuild will start a little bit later, probably like 2012 or 2009 or something like that. So there's a little bit more room of a buffer for us to maybe finish the series on time, or the actually way I want to finish it, instead of having to finish it early. So hopefully that'll work. But that'll be starting up pretty soon. Probably it'll be starting in the coming days. after this video goes up. So be on the lookout for that. One more thing I wanted to mention. EA, you suck. Madden, horrible game. I just wanted to throw that in there. Not because it's relevant. Well, it is relevant, but not relevant to this video. But I just wanted to say that because I hate EA Sports and everything they do. I really hope they don't ruin EA Sports College Football, because they have a track record of ruining good games. So please don't screw that up. It's very simple to make a good football game, especially when you're a billion-dollar company. So just don't screw it up. All you got to do is make it basically what NCAA 14 was, just with updated stuff, and the consumers will buy it. You don't have to go crazy. But I'm getting off on a different tangent. We don't need to talk about that in this video. That can be another video. But for this, it's a little bit bittersweet, definitely, that we're finishing so early into the save. I mean, I've gotten about 20 something videos out of it, but I was hoping to get like 30 or 40 out of it. It looks like we're not going to do that. So we start in week 3. We are 1-1, like usual. We always seem to start 1-1 when I load up the next season, which kind of sucks. I think this team is good enough to win a Super Bowl. I think this team is good enough to win the division and get the #1 seed in the AFC. So we'll have to find out and see. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. You guys know the drill. Let's simulate until something good happens. All right, here we are in week 17. We're sitting at 10-5, and this team's actually really good. Of course, we finally start to get really good. We got a 91 overall team. We start to get really good on the final season when we can't go any further. Everybody's growing pretty well. Cam Newton's starting to really take off as our starting quarterback. He's a 95 overall. Everybody's growing tremendously well. Von Miller's looking good. Kuechly's looking good. Everybody's looking real good. Everybody's growing really well, and that's the problem with why we have to end it here, is because everybody's growing really well. Everybody's a high overall, and everybody's getting paid a lot. So looking at the playoff picture, the AFC is really good this year. The AFC is really, really good this year. We are sitting at 10-5, and that's only good enough for the 5th seed in the playoffs. Yeah, that tells you how good the rest of the AFC is this season. I don't know what's going on in the AFC, why everybody is so good. The Texans are 13-2, Steelers 11-4, and then 3 teams tied for 10-5. That's how good the AFC is right now. It's going to be a tough challenge ahead. Let's get in and play the Jets, get some gameplay in here. Depending on... should I make this 2 episodes? We're going to make the playoffs, because we're going to win this game, obviously, because we're playing a 7-9 football team. So I just don't want to make this 2 episodes, and then the playoff special is like 1 game, because like say we play the Bills and we lose in the game in the wild card against the Bills, then it's only 1 game. So that wouldn't really work. So let's play this game, and then I'll decide later. All right, we're at the 8-yard line. We're already up 7-0 against the New York Jets, so this is probably going to be a very simple game to win. Throw a quick pass to Julio Jones, get it completed, run a no huddle. Quick snap, quick throw, Jack Doyle, big catch, and we're up by 2 touchdowns. All right, let's get some defensive gameplay in here. We're up 49-6. This game is over. Our defense has turned over the Jets' offense a few times. It hasn't been really that eventful. Kyle Orton is their quarterback. That's why they're 7-9. He's got 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, although he's probably going to score a touchdown on me now that I'm showing gameplay. That's usually how it happens. But let's see if we can get some pressure on Kyle Orton. He's going to throw a quick slant route to his receiver. He's going to get the first down. James Laurinaitis is there to bring him down. We're going to run some man coverage here. Hopefully we can get some pressure on him with Von Miller. I mean, we got Von Miller and Ndamukong Suh and Tamba Ali. How can we not get any pressure? That should have been an interception, really. But Eric Weddle wasn't in the right animation to pick that off. So hopefully we can still get some pressure with Von Miller. Look at this offensive line. Aaron Donald, Ndamukong Suh, and Von Miller all on the same offensive line. And Aaron Donald get the pressure, but we can't get to him quick enough. And I'm a horrible user tackler. I don't know what happened on that one with James Laurinaitis. but apparently I'm the worst user tackler of all Madden history because I missed that easy open field tackle. I didn't even get to see who their running back was. Kyle Orton has plenty of time, and Ndamukong Suh, I missed the open field sack again. Why am I the worst at user tackling? I don't know what it is. It's like when I get in there, I like choke at the last second, and they're gonna score a touchdown on me. Obviously, that's not what you want. All right, so Cam Newton finishes 26 of 36, 331 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Jamal Charles had 27 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Freeman also got a touchdown as well. And Jamal Charles, for some reason, led everybody in receiving with 6 catches for 115 yards. That's a little bit strange, but whatever. You do you, Jamal. I don't care. We got the win anyway. And it looks like James Laurinaitis led with 7 tackles. Von Miller got 4 sacks in the game. That's crazy. Tomba with 2, and then James and Ndamukong Suh shared 1. And Devin McCourty, Glover Quinn, and Luke Kuechly all picked off Kyle Orton as well. Nobody had a touchdown, I don't think. Nope, nobody had a touchdown. Nobody had a safety. It's a good win. It's a very good win. We are 11-6 now. 11-5. 11-5 now. And we're going to be in the playoffs, but we're going to be in the wild card. So hopefully we don't lose in the first game. That'd be bad. All right, I wanted to bring you guys in before we load into this wild card game against the Memphis Egyptians. I just wanted to show you this real quick. Their stadium, I never noticed this in the seasons that they've been in the league since they moved from LA because they're formerly known as the Chargers, obviously. Their stadium is called the Tomb. I never noticed that. It's called the Tomb. That's hilarious. I didn't know that the AI changed the name of the stadium like that. I thought they just had a generic stadium name. But their stadium name is actually the Tomb, so that's hilarious. But we're still the 5 seed. We're going up against the 4 seeded Egyptians. They're the team that knocked us out last year in the divisional round. Now we get to play them in the wild card, so that's fun. That's mainly the reason why I wanted to condense this all into one video. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna go to the Tomb. All right, we gotta have a good showing here in the wild card game, especially in the first drive, because we got absolutely destroyed by the Egyptians last season in the divisional round. And it's hopefully not because I'm throwing passes like that. I don't know what happened to us last year. We crumbled in the playoffs. Cam Newton threw 4 or 5 interceptions in that game. Just in that game. So that was the main reason why we lost it. And why we lost it by so much, because Drew Brees had, I don't even know Drew Brees is still the quarterback, but whoever the quarterback is had such an easy field because we kept turning the ball over. So hopefully that doesn't happen here today. We can get out of the wild card, go on to the divisional round, then maybe go on to the AFC Championship game, then go on to the Super Bowl, and hopefully win our 3rd and final Super Bowl in the final season. And that's going to be a touchdown. Julio Jones with a good block from, I think that was Calvin Johnson. Nice block, and we start the game 7-0. All right, Drew Brees is still the quarterback. We're in the 4th quarter here. We're up by 10. We knew this wasn't going to be an easy game, and the Egyptians are proving why, because I can't tackle in the open field, apparently. Steven Jackson is their running back. They still got Antonio Gates. He hasn't retired yet. LaDainian Tomlinson we saw retired after they won the Super Bowl. But Drew Brees is still here, and that's a lob. That's a Devin McCourty interception. Drew Brees, what are you doing? You just possibly sent your team home. You possibly just sent your team home. 41 seconds left, 37-24. We're moving on to the divisional round of the playoffs. This AFC's good, though. We're going to be in trouble. That's roughing the passer. I didn't think he was going to get that ball off quick enough. That's annoying. It's not your fault, Vaughn. That's my fault. I shouldn't have done that. But this AFC playoff this year is super strong for some strange reason. So it's going to be a tough game each and every week. And it usually always is because of the playoffs. But, I mean, we had an easy path here because Drew Brees had 3 interceptions. He did not play his best game at all. And we got a lucky one. If we can keep him in bounds, we got 2 timeouts. Are they going to use them, or are they just going to let the clock run? They're going to accelerate and not use a timeout. That's good for me. because that can get this game over with. Good job, Devin McCourty, knocking that ball out. That's amazing. Good job from him. 12 seconds left. This is probably the final play unless they get a quick throw or they get a touchdown. It's going to be touchdown because I didn't know I was Eric Weddle. That's frustrating. All right, so we conquered our demons from last season. We beat the team that knocked us out last season, and we move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. Cam Newton had 25-38, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That's a great day for Cam. As for Jamal Charles, 18 for 73, 2 touchdowns. Julio Jones had 114 yards on 5 catches and a touchdown. Jamal Charles had another receiving touchdown. Vernon Davis, 86 yards and a touchdown. Calvin Johnson, 6 and 60. That's not really the best for Calvin. Kuechly and Devin McCourty both with 10 tackles. Devin McCourty played amazing. 2 interceptions, had a couple deflected passes. He played amazing. He's the MVP of this game, that's for sure. Kuechly with 10 tackles. 3 sacks, all separated out, and then 3 interceptions, 1 by Laurinaitis and 2 by Devin McCourty. So great game. We move on to the division round. Hopefully not against the Buffalo Bills. All right, we're back in the division round for the 2nd year in a row, this time against the Pittsburgh Steelers at their place, Heinz Field, and I hope that we can make it further than we did last year. Obviously, we got knocked out in the divisional round against the Egyptians last year. I've mentioned that a couple times already. The Bills, funny enough, did lose in the wild card round, so it's the Texans and the Titans in the other divisional round matchup. So those are the teams that we would play if we get past Pittsburgh here, which I have a feeling we will because Cam Newton's Superman and he... Ah! Come on, Cam, you cannot fumble that. All right, we're down 13-10, late 3rd quarter. I'm sending everybody on a go route, and I'm just going to lob this up to probably Calvin Johnson. I was hoping for a pass interference call. We didn't get it. All right, 4th quarter, still down by 3. We got DeAndre Hopkins running a nice route. You love to see that kind of route, but I'm going to have to take off with Cam here. I'm not going to get any blocks, and I'm not going to fumble this football. So we get the first down. I was hoping that whoever was on that other side would block for me, but it looks like he wouldn't. From the 5, same drive as what you saw the last highlight. This will put us up, and I'm going to have to run this with Cam, and I'm going to get it this time. That puts us up by 4. Big touchdown. All right, we know that Ben Roethlisberger is not their quarterback. It is Andrew Luck. If you guys remember back in 2012 when they took Andrew Luck in the draft, and he just threw a pick to ice the game. It's Devin McCourty again. Devin McCourty again. He sends us to the AFC Championship game, baby. Devin McCourty's a Hall of Famer. All right, so I don't know what happened, but we're not going to the AFC Championship game. The Steelers scored with under 30 seconds to go. And now we have to score with under 10 seconds to go. Get that to Vernon Davis, call a quick timeout. We have 5 seconds and 2 timeouts. I don't know how this happened. Devin McCourty, I thought we iced it, but apparently we couldn't hold on to the football and finish the game off. So this is the situation we're in. We can tie it with a field goal, but we got to get some crazy field goal positioning here. I'm not sure how I want to do this. I think I'm going to hot route Antonio Brown on a slant route. I got to get something quick here. Get down, get down, get down. Call timeout, call timeout. I couldn't get down. We lose the game. That is the worst way to lose the game, bro. Oh, Andrew Luck really just did a 4th quarter comeback on us. Is that how we are going to end this series out on a loss in the divisional round in the 2 straight seasons? Our defense was playing so well. We crumbled in the final 30 seconds, bro. I was watching that simulation, and I was like, what just happened? Oh, we lost again. So we're going to finish this series with 2 Super Bowl trophies. Oh, Cam Newton, 22 of 37. 1 touchdown. He also had a rushing touchdown. Jamal Charles with another receiving touchdown. Julio had 99 yards. Devin McCourty, what happened? I thought you iced the game with that pick in the red zone. Oh, why? Why me? Kuechly with another big game, 12 tackles, 2 sacks. We just didn't get enough pressure on Andrew Luck in the big moments. We just didn't get enough pressure. That's what it is. He had 341 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it looks like we won't be winning a Super Bowl to end this series, but now we can go and close it out. All right, so that didn't really go as planned. We dropped the divisional round, and we're out of the playoffs. This AFC was super strong this year, but now we can close out. I never showed you guys the stats for the regular season. The final stats of the regular season, 4,200 passing yards for Cam Newton, 43 touchdowns, 11 picks. Jamal Charles had over 1,000 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns. Devontae Freeman had a good season as well. 2,000-yard receivers, Calvin Johnson and Julio Jones. 14 touchdowns for Julio. That's pretty crazy. Everybody else did pretty well. As for the defense, 109 tackles for Luke Kuechly, 7 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 14 sacks for Von Miller. That's absolutely wild. Aaron Donald had 9.5. Who led interceptions? James Laurinaitis, Luke Kuechly, Devin McCourty, and Glover Quinn all had 3, and then Harrison Smith had 2. Any pick sixes or anything? No, nothing like that. No safeties. We did block a punt, or block a kick, I mean, with James Laurinaitis. That's pretty cool. As for kicking, Justin Tucker, 10 of 11. He missed 1 extra point because he got blocked. Pat McAfee did good punting. No kick returns. No punt return touchdowns. So that is the season stats. Now we can look at the yearly awards. Jay Cutler wins MVP. Cam Newton finishes in 3rd. That's the highest he's finished in the MVP, I'm pretty sure. Coach of the Year is Griffin Murphy, technically Bill Belichick. AFC, Cam Newton finishes in 2nd for the Offensive Player of the Year. Jay Cutler takes it. Defensive Player of the Year is Clay Matthews. Derek Carr wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, with Devontae Freeman finishing in 2nd. Khalil Mack wins Defensive Rookie of the Year with Aaron Donald finishing in 2nd. So both of our rookies finished in 2nd. That sucks. Byron Leftwich, for some reason, wins Best Quarterback, even though Cam Newton and Jay Cutler are in the same division or same conference or whatever. LaShawn McCoy wins Best Running Back. Best Wide Receiver is Andre Johnson. So the Texans really deserved that #1 seed because they had the Best Quarterback, Best Running Back, and Best Wide Receiver. Best Lineman is Jahari Evans. D-line is Terrell Suggs. Linebacker is Clay Matthews. Jarris Bird is defensive back. And Josh Scobie is the best kicker. We finished in 2nd for the Legacy Leaderboard. I did not mean to hit that. We finished in 2nd for the Legacy Leaderboard. Career stats, Cam Newton finishes with 16,000 passing yards, 130 touchdowns, 42 interceptions. Jamal Charles got 3,600 rushing yards, 35 touchdowns in his 7 seasons. Vernon Davis is our leading receiver because he's been here for 9 seasons. He has 8,000 receiving yards, almost 8,000 on the dot, with 53 touchdowns. Calvin Johnson has 7,400 with 49 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 2,900 with 19. And Julio Jones, in just 4 seasons, got 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. As for the defense, who is the all-time leader in tackles? It looks like it's Eric Weddle. He was here for 8 seasons. So was David Harris. And he leads with 641 tackles. David Harris had 630. Who's the all-time leader in sacks? Tamba Ali, 9 seasons. He had 56.5 sacks. Ndamukong Suh in just 5 seasons had 48.5. And Von Miller in just 4 seasons had 20 sacks. Who leads interceptions? Eric Weddle leads with 50 interceptions. Brandon Carr has 11. He really came on towards the end of this series with 11 interceptions. He started playing really well. Devin McCourty finishes with 10. David Harris finishes with 10. Luke Kuechly, man, 3 seasons. He had 297 tackles, 4 sacks, and 5 interceptions. That's pretty good for our number 4 pick, I think. As for fumble recoveries, Eric Weddle leads with 4. Forced fumbles, and then fumble recoveries is 1. Blocked kicks, James Laurinaitis, Tamba Ali, Derek Morgan, and Dante Hightower all had 1. We had 4 total safeties. Tamba Hali had 2, and Derek Morgan had 2. So that's pretty cool. And defensive touchdowns, Brandon Carr took back, I'm assuming, 2 pick sixes because he doesn't have any fumble recoveries. Eric Weddle probably took back a pick 6, and David Harris, it could go either way. Could have been a fumble recovery for a touchdown or a pick 6. I don't really know. Who played the most games? Tamba Hali played the most games by far. He played 143 total games in 9 seasons. Eric Weddle played 128 along with David Harris. That's pretty cool that Tamba Hali just is the best, apparently. He led in almost everything. He's pretty good. He's got 102 tackles for loss, which is crazy. Kicking, Justin Tucker in 3 seasons got 36 of 50 out of field goal percentage for a career percentage of 72%. His longest was 56. He had 2 blocked. He only missed 2 extra points through his 3 seasons, and they both got blocked. Pat McAfee had 15,000 punting yards, which is awesome. That's pretty cool. None blocked. He had 75 within the 20 and 85 touchbacks. He kicked a 73-yarder. That's pretty crazy. No kick returns throughout the career. I mean, Devin Hester didn't get any either, and he was our main kick returner for a few seasons. That's pretty decent sharing from all these guys. No punt returns either. T.Y. Hilton only had 18 punt returns throughout his career. Like I said, Devin Hester was obviously the main guy for that. Did we get any career records? Any Dolphins out there in this? I'm not assuming that we will because we don't really have that kind of stuff. Maybe season is a better thing to look for. Drew Brees, 3 straight seasons for real life. But I'm not seeing anything crazy so far. 2029 Byron Leftwich. So this season, that's why he won Offensive Player of the Year, because he had 44 touchdown passes this season. That's pretty crazy. Anything else notable? No, doesn't look like it. Nothing happened throughout this save. Oh, here we go. Williams. I don't know who this is. D. Williams. He had 21 sacks in a season, so that's pretty cool. And Terrell Suggs last season had 21 as well, so that's cool for those guys. Oh, I didn't even see that. 2027, Terrell Suggs had 25, so he broke the record. I didn't even notice that. Terrell Suggs is on this list twice in a 2-year span. That's cool. Terrell Suggs is a beast. He's a dog. No interceptions. It's hard to get a lot of interceptions in a season. And then we're back to passing yards. So a few records were changed throughout this career, or throughout this season. We finished with the 8th offense, and what's the defense? It's not going to show for me. Of course it's not. We were down here about like the 8th or 9th team. So now that I've wrapped up all the career stats and all the regular stats and stuff for the season, now we can go and simulate to the Pro Bowl and check out that roster for the final time, and then simulate to the Super Bowl and find out if this is really our final. All right, here is the Pro Bowl roster. Cam Newton makes the Pro Bowl as the quarterback number 2 because Byron Leftwich just had the greatest season of all time, apparently. He is number 1 quarterback, then Drew Brees is 3rd. So we got one guy so far that makes a Pro Bowl team. Finally, Julio Jones. I can stop saying that this guy is Julio Jones, and I can say that this is our Julio Jones. He makes wide receiver 6. Anybody else? Jahari Evans, Josh Sitton, Terrell Suggs makes it. He's not ours, but Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald. Wow, both of our guys make Pro Bowls. That's pretty cool. Sean Marion's still playing. Barry Sanders, not Barry Sanders. The Bob Sanders, not Barry Sanders. Mike Nugent. Good for him. So we had 4 guys that made the Pro Bowl, 5 guys that made the Pro Bowl. That's cool. We've had more, obviously. But now, as you can see, it's the Giants and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. So we lost to the eventual Super Bowl participant. Let's see if we lose to the eventual Super Bowl champions. All right, here we go. Before we save, let's check out the roster before we simulate, check out the roster one final time, get a look at it, because this might be the last time you'll ever see it. Cam Newton finishes at a 96 overall. Russell Wilson didn't really get a chance to show anything, so he finishes at a 78. It kind of sucks that he was behind Cam Newton, but we needed a good backup, and he was there. And then we've obviously got Terrell Pryor. It's funny how these guys are all 26 years old. Jamal Charles finishes at our running back. We never really had that number one running back. I mean, we had Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown for a while. Then we got rid of Ricky Williams and brought in Darren Sproles, and then we had Jamal Charles. So then we got rid of Darren Sproles, then we got rid of Ronnie Brown, and it was Jamal Charles' show. So he was kind of thrust into the starting spot a little bit too late, although he did play very well while he was there. We got Devontae Freeman and Dree Archer as well. Wide receivers, Calvin Johnson's been here since day one, well, since the first draft. We got Calvin Johnson, actually since the second draft, because he was in the 2007 draft class. So he's been here basically for a long time. He's a 99 overall. He's been a 99 overall for like 4 seasons now, I think, or 5 seasons. He's been a 99 for a while. Julio Jones is probably going to be a 99 if we keep simulating. Antonio Brown will probably get to a 99 if we keep simulating. We drafted DeAndre Hopkins a couple years ago, got T.Y. Hilton a couple years ago. Doug Baldwin never really got the chance to start or do anything, so he just kind of got stunted at a 78. And then we got Devontae Adams this year. As for tight end, Vernon Davis didn't get to a 90, but he definitely... Actually, did he get to a 90? I can't even remember if he did, because he's 31, so he might have regressed a little bit. But we had Greg Olsen, and Greg Olsen never really developed because he was behind Vernon Davis. I never really got that that 3 tight end system that I really like to run. As for offensive line, left tackle, we had obviously Andrew Whitworth. We took him in year number 1 in the 2006 draft class, and he was our starting left tackle for a long time until the draft class that Trent Williams came in, and I took Trent Williams and traded away Andre Whitworth because he was starting to get a little bit older, and Trent Williams is obviously a franchise left tackle, so we had to get him. We drafted Teron Armstead a couple years ago. Jahari Evans has been our left guard for the entire series, since after the first season. He's a 96 overall. He's a stud. Travis Frederick is our new center. We started with who was our... Well, we had a couple of seasons, actually like 4 or 5 seasons, where we just rotated centers because there was never really a good center that I wanted. And then we finally got one in Max Unger, but that was towards the time when this whole salary cap thing came about, so I had to trade him thinking that would fix it. It didn't, and now we're stuck with Travis. Well, we're not stuck, but we're here with Travis Frederick, who, if we kept simulating, would probably get more higher overall and everything, and it'd be fine. But we're not going to be able to. Josh Sitton has been here. Josh Sitton has been a solid pick for us. Marshall Yonder really never got the chance to start. He's stuck at a 78 overall, and then we drafted Zach Martin this year. Joel Petonio we took this year as well, and David Bakhtiar we took a couple years ago. They would both grow very well if we kept simulating. As for the left end, we had... Is that the position that Jason Taylor played, or did he play right end? I think he played right end. But we never really had a solid left end throughout this whole series. And Jabal Sheard never really was that guy either. As for right end, Tamba Ali didn't grow as much as I want, but he produced on the field. He got, obviously we showed all those stats. He got all those amazing career stats for us. He's definitely a Dolphins Hall of Famer in my book for this series. He never really got to the high overall that you would assume he'd be a Hall of Famer, but I'd put him in the Dolphins Hall of Fame, the Dolphins Ring of Honor and stuff. Chandler Jones hasn't gotten the chance to play very much. I was going to move him to linebacker, but it looks like we won't be able to see that. Defensive tackle, we did struggle for defensive tackles in the beginning of the series. If you guys can remember, we were stuck with some low overall defensive tackles. Then we got Kyle Williams, and he was kind of our stud for a while. And then Ndamukong Suh came along, and he was already almost like immediately better than Kyle Williams. He obviously took over for the starter. And then we got Sheldon Richardson and Akeem Hicks, and then Aaron Donald. So our defense tackle spot's looking real good now. As for linebacker, we had A.J. Hawk. Our very first draft pick ever in the series was A.J. Hawk. I think I took him with the 5th pick or I think it was top 5 pick I took AJ Hawk with, which is probably a mistake because he only ever turned out to be like a high 70 overall player. But then Von Miller came along, so we ended up getting a better player in Von Miller. Middle linebacker, I've always had good middle linebackers. We had, obviously, James Laurinaitis pretty early on in the series. Then we got Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly in the same draft, and then Ryan Shazier, obviously, this year. So I've always been blessed with good middle linebackers. And David Harris, obviously, was our middle linebacker for a while. And then we moved him when we got Kuechly and Bobby Wagner, or as they started to grow. And then Dante Hightower is the backup right outside linebacker. David Harris was probably also a Ring of Honor type player because of just the on-the-field production that he gave with the 100-plus tackle seasons and just crazy amounts of stuff. Devin McCourty, one of my favorite draft picks of the entire series. A complete shocker for him to be a 90 overall like this. I didn't think he would develop the way that he has. He's been tremendous on the field and off the field. He's been a great player for us. I'm glad that I had him on the team. I just wish that interception that I showed you in that clip against the Steelers, I wish that would have been the real icing on the top of the cake, but it wasn't. We got eliminated. That's fine. Brandon Carr, I didn't think was going to turn into anything. Turns out that he turned into an 84 overall. So he exceeded my expectations for him. I didn't think he was going to amount to anything, but he has. He's been a very solid player for us. Sam Shields, we got as a steal in like the 4th round or something. He turned out to be a very good player for us. Jason McCourty we brought in just because he's the brother of Devin McCourty. And then obviously we had these two guys down here, Jordan Poyer and Janoris Jenkins, who were going to be the future corners for us once these guys started to regress a little bit. But we won't find out what happens there. Glover Quinn and Eric Reed are our free safeties. We had Antoine Bethea for most of the series. And then when he started to get a little bit up there in age, I traded him to make room for Eric Reed. And Eric Weddle, basically our best player throughout this entire series. He has been phenomenal for us. And then Harrison Smith as well. Fantastic player. I'd probably, if I had to make a Ring of Honor throughout this series, I'd probably put Jason Taylor, because he won us that first Super Bowl almost single-handedly. I'd put probably Jahari Evans in there. I would put Calvin Johnson in there. I would put Ndamukong Suh. I would put David Harris, Eric Weddle, Devin McCourty, and Olindo Mare as the kicker, because if you guys forgot, we had Olindo Mare, so that's 7 guys. I'd probably put 10 guys in there. Who else would I put in here? I can't put guys like Von Miller in there because they've only been around for like 4 seasons. So Tamba Ali, I forgot about Tamba. That's 8. Who else would I put in there to make 9 and 10? I put Vernon Davis in there. That's 9. And then 10, would we put Cam in there? He hasn't really been around that much, but he has won a Super Bowl and he was Super Bowl MVP. So you know what? I'll throw Cam in there as the 10th Ring of Honor guy. So that would be our 10 guys for the Dolphins Ring of Honor throughout this series. Like I mentioned, we had Olindo Mare, and he was our kicker for about 9 seasons? I don't even know how far we are into this. I've kind of lost track. But Justin Tucker, we picked him up a couple of years ago as a free agent, and he's been our kicker ever since. Pat McAfee, we had... Who did we have as our punter? I don't even remember who we had as our punter because we never punt the football in play games, so I don't even remember. I know did we have Marquette King for a year? I don't remember who we had. But Pat McAfee's been our punter basically since we drafted him, so he's been our punter for at least 6 seasons. And then those are our draft picks, but those aren't going to matter. So that's the roster, and that's a little bit of the history of the series. I gave you my top 10 favorite Dolphins players of the series. And now is the big question. Will this make me retire if I hit advance to the offseason? So we're going to do it together. 3, 2, 1, advance week. I won't cut or anything. Let's see if this kicks me out and forces me to retire, and it does. So we will be forced to retire. It's a good thing I saved before I did that because I don't want to retire my owner. But we can check out the retirements for the final season. Is there anybody of note that retires besides me? Obviously, Andre Johnson, Donovan McNabb, Nate Burleson, Todd Heap, David Akers, Brian Urlacher after 15 seasons, Rex Grossman, Sexy Rexy, baby, Lance Briggs, Calvin Pace, Dylan Gandy, Ronnie Brown after 10 seasons. I'm going to be honest, I thought he already had retired. Antonio Bryant, Nate Clements, Boo Williams, I don't even know who that is. Roberto Garza, Anthony Schlegel, I thought he had already retired too. I guess not. And then head coach Ron Rivera retires. So those are the retirements for the final season. I'm not going to advance anymore. I'm just going to go and once this video is over, just back out and it'll be back where we left off. But that is going to wrap up the retro rebuild for the Miami Dolphins. Yes, it is bittersweet that we had to end it like this, but that's what happens when you play a game like Madden. It's just broken. It's bad. It's a horrible game. I'm not going to get into it. You guys already know how I feel about this game. I've done so many rants and so many complaints about it that I don't need to rehash it right now. But I do want to thank you guys so much, honestly, so much for the support. I love you guys. You just love this series so much. You smashed it. The views are crazy on the videos, and I hope that you guys can keep that up for the next series because it's going to be a whole different roster. The overalls are going to be different. People have been in the league for a little bit already, so depending on which roster I use, maybe like 2009 or something like that. And it'll be a new team, a fresh start, a fresh slate, clean slate. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Like I said, that video or that series will start in the coming week. I'm not really sure what day. I've got other videos planned out for, or at least one video planned out for after this is over. So that's gonna do it for this series and this video, obviously. Thank you guys once again for the support. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Smash that like button, hit the notification bell, hit that subscription button, join the Juice Club. You guys know the drill, and that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna be out. Peace. See ya.